And now to address the business of the day before this committee, I want to congratulate the nominees and their families. Today's hearing serves an important purpose. As members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, it's our responsibility to determine if nominees before us have the experience, independence, and temperament for a lifetime appointment to the bench. We evaluate each of these nominees with the first basic question: will they follow the rule of law? That is all the more crucial now with a president who is constantly trying to break the law and defying court orders. In his second term, President Trump has accelerated a pattern from his first term, put in place a patently illegal policy, dare the courts to strike it down, and when the courts uphold the rule of law, respond by personally attacking the judges. President Trump's tariff policy is a perfect illustration of this. Just 2 weeks after he returned to office last year, he invoked the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, also known as IEPA, to impose tariffs. This law gives the president authority to impose sanctions or freeze assets in response to certain emergencies. IEPA never mentions the word tariffs and had never been used before to impose tariffs. President Trump announced, quote, reciprocal tariffs on almost every country in the world, claiming without evidence that trade deficits were an unusual and extraordinary threat to our national security. Immediately, American small businesses challenged these tariff taxes as exceeding the scope of the president's legal powers. Lower courts disagreed with the president and agreed with the plaintiffs, the business community, finding that only the Congress had the power to impose tariffs, not the president. Just a few weeks ago, a 6-3 decision in the Supreme Court affirmed the lower court's position and held that IEPA does not authorize President Trump to impose these illegal and costly tariff taxes. Right on cue, President Trump went on the attack, ranting on social media that the Supreme Court, quote, unnecessarily ransacked the United States by ruling against him. He took special aim at the 3 conservative justices in the majority, calling them, quote, disloyal, unpatriotic, fools, and lapdogs for the rhinos and their radical left Democrats. While the Supreme Court struck down the tariffs, major questions remain with respect to how American businesses will receive the refunds for tens of billions of dollars they lost to President Trump's illegal tariff taxes. The Court of International Trade, or CIT, a specialized court that hears international trade cases, will hear many of the suits filed by the plaintiffs seeking to recoup their losses. So President Trump is resorting to his typical, usual, normal practice for him. After losing before the Supreme Court, he wants to stack the courts, including the CIT, with MAGA loyalists who will rule in his favor and not give the refunds back to businesses and individuals. Today, the committee will consider the nomination of Carol Westerkamp for a lifetime appointment to this court. Based on her record, it appears she will be faithful to the president. How about her faithfulness to the rule of law? Ms. Westerkamp's social media account reads like a Trump fan fiction, questioning the outcome of the 2020 election, whitewashing the January 6th attack on the Capitol, and attacking Chief Justice Roberts for not being sufficiently conservative. For example, on Election Day in 2020, Ms. Westerkamp tweeted, and I quote, if you cheat, you will win. On January 6, 2021, she claimed that Democrats are perfecting the art of cheating. And she has attacked senators on both sides of the aisle if they dare to cross the president. For example, one member of this committee she spoke of, Senator Graham, she said is true to no one but his own self-preservation. She repeatedly called Senator Mitch McConnell, quote, cocaine Mitch, close quote, and retweeted posts accusing him of, quote, betraying Trump, unquote. She's also accused Senator Collins, a Republican member of the Senate, of prioritizing, quote, her own personal political power over loyalty to Trump. This shameless display of extreme rhetoric does not reflect independence or judicial temperament required for a lifetime appointment to the federal bench. I look forward to hearing from her personally when we ask our questions. I yield.